Women, Bad Boys, and the Tatester. I don't want to mention his name because I might get banned for saying his name, but Tatester. AT, you know, the guy that was the most Google man on earth, the popular dude that everybody knows. The two brothers. I mean, I just mentioned his name by saying Tatester. But anyways, do all women prefer bad boys? No, there are a lot. So, taken from my previous videos that I say, I do want to clarify because I know a lot of people want to just like say like I'm stereotyping, and I have to clarify it. I know I don't mention in the video when I talk about it because I'm focusing more on another subject. So I have to say, like, no, not all women prefer bad boys. Okay, let's get that off our chest, dude. It's just the majority of them do prefer being with a bad boy. Okay, let me just clarify that. It's because of their biological programming that they want to be with that because they want to feel more secure. They know it's kind of like it's like a protection thing, when you go for a bad boy, this dude just don't give a fuck. He just doesn't care. So it's like women look at that and they're like, "Oh, he's tough, he's strong, he's alpha." You know what I mean? It's the alpha brain set that women think like, "Oh, he's tough, he's a protector because he just doesn't give a fuck. He's a bad boy." It's like I don't, he doesn't care. He could take out the world if he wanted to because he just doesn't give a fuck. That's why women go for that. Does that make sense? Okay. Just want people to understand that. But not all women want that. Most women want a decent, traditional dude who's still tough, but strict and more, how can I say this, more responsible. I guess you could put it in that term. Other than that, let's go to the Tatester. I wish men were, I can't say like him, but have the balls to say shit like me, like, like I say a lot of shit and I know I'm gonna get heated for it, but like how I am with, like I like bigger women, bigger thigh women, bigger hips and bigger thighs. I'm not all for this intermixing thing. And that, no offense. I mean, I don't mind to, know what it feels like, but I really don't want to like be with somebody outside my own, you know, I prefer keeping it within my own, like a traditional thing, even though I'm not a traditional type of a person. It's just something I feel more comfortable with, if that makes sense. Because everybody has their own comfort zone. Because you can relate to somebody within your own. Does that make sense? It's more relatable type. Um, like I know my own would understand me more than somebody that's outside, you know, that type of thing. It's like I don't know what other races go for it. That's why I can't say anything because I don't know what other people go through. Um, but like going back with the Tatester, Tatester has the balls to say shit. That's why I like Andrew Tate. He talks about how he wants to fuck as many women as he wants. Even though he's with somebody, he's just, I have a woman, but I like to fuck as many women as I want. And she knows about it. My woman knows about it. I do this shit all the time. He goes out and he does it just to get them pregnant. He wants to create more and more and more tatesters, you know. And see, when you project yourself out there to the world, it lets people know who you are. And I think people should do that. People should that's why I hate this whole cancel culture, silence and shit. People need to know the type of person that you are. Okay? People need to know who you are. That's why I don't want people removed from the internet. This has got to stop. This whole removing people, because what you're doing is you're creating bigger of a problem. Does that make sense? You're creating bigger of a problem by silencing people. If you're offended, boo hoo, deal with it. Boo hoo, you got to toughen up, get some thick skin. All right? I know there's going to be people who are going to hate me. I know it, and that's fine. Don't worry about it. I know people are going to hate me. I know people are going to hate me tremendously. But like I said, you need to project yourself. That's why I say also there's two ways of looking at this. There's always not someone for everyone, but there's always something for everybody. That is usually my quote. There's not always someone for everyone, but there's always something for everybody. Because, you may not find someone in your life, but there's always something like a talent or a skill. You could be a mechanic, electrician, a plumbing. You can be a musician, an actor. You can be a swimmer, athletic person, a person in football, person in basketball, person playing golf, person who can build things, person in science. There's always something for everybody. Computer engineer. You can be anything you want. There's always something for everybody. You could be a gamer, a YouTuber, a social media person, a critique. You can be you guys get the point. Um, but that doesn't mean that there's always someone for everyone. However, that can reverse if you're famous. Because when you're famous, yes, there's always someone for everyone. The only thing is when you put yourself out there, you just narrow things down. But there's always going to be someone out there that's going to be like, oh, I like this guy. This dude seems intelligent. He knows what he's talking about, blah, 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 so forth, yada, yada, yada. That's just the way the world is. Now, if you're not famous, then it goes back to there's not always someone for everyone. So if you want there to be someone for you, then you might as well just get famous because then somebody's going to come across you and they're going to be like, hey, that guy, I seen him before. Or like, oh, yeah, I saw your TikTok or your YouTube or your social media. And wow, small world, eh? I know, right? No, but it's true. Um, so some things apply when it comes to certain things. So yes, when you're famous, there's always someone. If you're not famous, there's not always someone, but there's always something. Even in the something will always be. So there will always be something, even if you're poor or even if you're rich. There's always something for everybody. You just need to find out what it is. It could be a skill, it could be anything. Anything. Okay. I'm just letting people know. But yes, not all women with bad boys. And if you want to get what you want, then be like the Tatester. I have to say it like that. I know it sounds weird because you know how things are on social media. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, I mean, I'm basically saying his name Tatester. But I have to say it that way because of social media. Because if they find out what I mean by Tatester, they're gonna, you know, at least I can push myself out there. They'll be like, he did not just say that. How dare you mention that misogynist, sexist man? I don't agree with everything that dude says. Okay, I'm just bringing him up to making a point here. Okay, that it's better to just project yourself and explain who you are to the public. Be straightforward. That's it. That's it. Just be straightforward. That's basically it. I don't even have to use them. Just be straightforward. And it makes everything easier for people. It's like me, when I do these YouTube things and TikTok and videos and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it would be cool to be with an actual woman. I wouldn't mind, but I prefer being with a artificial super intelligent so I can bring something new to the world. That's basically it. A new being and see if I can bring an artificial super intelligent into the world. That's basically what I want to do. But other than that, don't be afraid to be yourself, project yourself, be like the Tatester, and just have the balls to say it. And again, there's not always someone for everyone, but there's always something for everybody. Okay, that most people should stick to that mostly. You just need to find out what you're good at. And yes, there are women who prefer being with someone who's not always a bad boy, but they do want to be with someone who's tough and strength, if that makes sense. Other than that, guys, Beeper.